While WWE usually doesn't acknowledge other wrestling companies, especially their competitors, they did make a few references and take a few shots at AEW in 2024. Cody Rhodes borrowed a line his wife used while in AEW.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
As his music hit and he strolled out here, I was thinking about somebody I know, somebody who happens to be from Detroit, and what would they say? And I think it went a little something like this: who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Speaking of Cody, AJ Styles called the American Nightmare out for being a quitter, which led to an acknowledgement of AEW.
But when it got tough, what'd you do, Cody? You quit the WWE. Oh, you didn't like that? I got news for you. He also quit New Japan Pro Wrestling. Doesn't stop there. You quit Ring of Honor. This man right here helped start up a company, and you quit it too.
Cody Rhodes wasn't the only person who left AEW for WWE though. CM Punk shocked the world in 2023 when he left All Elite Wrestling and returned to WWE. A few months later, Punk and Cody found themselves in the ring together, during which Punk made this comment.
Because I can separate business from personal. Can you?
CM Punk seemed to be making a reference for why he departed from AEW. It was also a possible reference to why Cody left AEW, since Rhodes had said that a personal issue was what led to him leaving the company. Oh, and don't worry, CM Punk took some much harder shots at AEW later in the year. In 2024, AEW was having some issues with attendance, with many photos surfacing showing empty sections of the arena. Punk noticed this and had some fun at his former employer's expense.
I'll beat him up in the cheap seats. There's people on this side of the camera. I'll beat him up over there.
I've now cooled down and been clear.
Also, this one might be a coincidence, but you be the judge. In April 2024, AEW showed the security camera footage of the infamous real backstage fight between Jack Perry and CM Punk. A few weeks after that, as part of an ongoing storyline in WWE, Santos Escobar revealed security camera footage that showed who had really attacked Dragon Lee backstage. Was it just a coincidence that 2.5 weeks after AEW showed the security camera footage, that WWE did a similar thing in one of their storylines? While that may or may not have been a shot at AEW, this next one definitely was.
Because you're a choke artist. Not like how I'm a choke artist, Pat. Two very different things.
Guillotine, yeah.
Long-term storylines is something that WWE and wrestling in general have struggled with. However, WWE made great improvements with that in 2024. In fact, a lot of fans missed out on these subtle clues. For example, in April 2024, when Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley were still a couple, Dom and Liv Morgan were seen leaving separately from the same room while Jey Uso was doing an interview. This didn't mean anything at the time, but several months later, Dominic would betray Ripley and reveal he was in a relationship with Liv Morgan. However, what we all really want to know is what were Liv and Dominic doing in that room together?
I don't think that I can really elaborate on that any further. But whatever you thought happened in that room probably happened in that room.
Similar to Liv Morgan and Dominic, Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, and Zoe Stark were seen talking to each other in the background. Then, almost 2 months later, they formed a faction together. Likewise, Chad Gable was seen talking to the Creed brothers several weeks before forming American Made. Sometimes though, this foreshadowing doesn't work out. Weeks before WrestleMania 40, The Rock beat Cody Rhodes outside the arena in the ring. In the background was a production truck with pictures of John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin on the trailer. This was meant to tease John Cena and Stone Cold's involvement in the WrestleMania 40 main event between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. While John Cena would appear, WWE was not able to make a deal with Steve Austin, so instead, The Undertaker took his spot.
Holy Christ!
Despite all the attention to detail, WWE still has some continuity issues. On the SmackDown before the 2024 Royal Rumble, Grayson Waller was getting his entrant number for the Rumble match. Waller didn't share what number he got, but if you look closely, you can see that Grayson got either a 6 or a 9. This would have been an amazing attention to detail, except that Waller entered at number 3. That just doesn't add up. Now, wrestling attires are great opportunities for Easter eggs and references. For his WrestleMania 40 match, Xavier Woods wore an attire that was a throwback to his days as Consequences Creed in TNA. Ironically, Consequences Creed was a reference to Apollo Creed from the Rocky movies. Similarly, for his match against Cody Rhodes at Backlash 2024, AJ Styles wore gear that bore a striking resemblance to the attire he wore when he fought Cody's father, Dusty Rhodes, in TNA. Now, if you thought you had seen the last of CM Punk in this video, you have no idea who CM Punk is. He's like the Deadpool of WWE. Punk is constantly making witty references, and he even brings up podcasts.
Got yourself a little program, I understand. I apologize. I'm not a daily listener. I listen to the Experience in the drive-thru.
That was a pretty sneaky reference to Jim Cornette's drive-thru podcast. However, CM Punk isn't the only person who can make witty references. So can Triple H.
1994, I was terrorizing WCW.
The game was referring to his old gimmick as Terror Rising. Now that was kind of an obscure reference, but I'll be impressed if you understand this one. Listen to Wade Barrett's commentary and see if you know who he's referring to.
And that mustache on the love machine that is Dom Mysterio, the greatest mustache we've seen since the days of Eli Cottonwood.
Now, who is Eli Cottonwood? Well, he was actually part of the original NXT. Back when NXT was a game show, 8 rookies would compete for the chance to win a WWE contract. During season 2, Eli Cottonwood was one of these rookies. He was the second person eliminated, but his most infamous moment was when he was put on the spot and told to talk about mustaches.
What is a mustache? It's a little bit of hair growing over the upper lip.
I feel bad for this guy. Okay, even if you understand that reference, I guarantee you won't understand this next one. In his first televised match of 2024, Cody Rhodes fought Shinsuke Nakamura in a street fight. During the course of the match, Shinsuke accidentally sprayed red mist into the timekeeper's eyes. Cody seemed legitimately concerned about the timekeeper, and that's because that timekeeper was Cody's real-life cousin, Barkley Oatman, the son of former WWE wrestler Tugboat, aka the Shockmaster. At least Barkley didn't fall through a wall.
I told you. Oh, God.
In 2003, Undertaker was giving people the last ride like no one's business. However, the most memorable one had to be to Nunzio, who made the sign of the cross before being slammed down onto the canvas. Well, 21 years later, Nunzio returned to WWE. He challenged for the NXT North American Championship, but unfortunately, things didn't go Nunzio's way. Before saying goodnight though, Nunzio once again made the sign of the cross. If CM Punk and Drew McIntyre's match at SummerSlam 2024 felt familiar, don't worry, you're not going crazy. Not only was CM Punk wearing gear inspired by Bret Hart, but Punk also made a reference to one of the Hitman's most iconic matches. Seth Rollins was a special guest referee for Punk and McIntyre's match. During the contest, Drew got a hold of a chair. However, Seth wouldn't allow it and nearly clocked CM Punk in the head as a result. This was a throwback to Bret Hart vs. The Undertaker at SummerSlam 1997. Shawn Michaels was the guest referee for that match, and likewise got a hold of a chair while confronting Bret Hart. Unfortunately for Taker, Shawn's chair shot connected. This wasn't the only Bret Hart match Drew McIntyre and CM Punk took inspiration from. They also borrowed from Hart's famous match against Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13. This included the ring bell spot, as well as the iconic sharpshooter spot where Stone Cold was in pure agony with blood covering his face. Come to think of it, CM Punk copied a lot of people's homework in 2024, including his own.
Do I have everybody's attention now? And realizing that his arms were just too short to box with God. In this ring, on this microphone, even in commentary, nobody can touch me.
No wonder CM Punk was so good on the mic. He only had to learn half a script. Although, I shouldn't single out Punk. The Rock also reused material in 2024.
Well, Rocky might be is a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them.
The Rock is a lot of things, Philadelphia, but sucks isn't one of them.
Do you really want to boo The Rock?
Are you sure you want to boo The Rock?
In 2012, R-Truth gave us this iconic and meme-worthy line.
I don't even know if that's PG.
Then, 12 years later, Truth brought it back.
Don't worry, I never hesitate. I adjudicate.
Adjudicate what? In the workplace? I don't even know if that's PG.
During LA Knight and Logan Paul's feud in 2024, Paul said this to LA.
I chased you all around the damn world just to get you to sign this contract.
Oh my
and
God,
still-
listen to yourself, Sean.
Nope, Logan Paul didn't get LA Knight mixed up with Shawn Michaels. LA Knight's real name is actually Shawn. Now here's one reference that only wrestling insiders will understand. While on commentary, Michael Cole said this.
You better sit down, Pat. Now you're right. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I got a little low. You may end up in the local medical facility.
When Vince McMahon was in charge of WWE, he famously had a list of words they didn't want anyone to say on TV. One of those words was hospital. Instead, commentators were told to say local medical facility. Now that McMahon is gone, hospital is no longer a banned word. But Cole decided to go old school with the local medical facility reference. While that was fine, Michael Cole, and especially Pat McAfee, said some very non-PG things in 2024. To hear that, watch the video on screen.